Hello, I am Gemma Bennett and I am a therapist for emotional well-being. So today I want to talk about choices and our power to choose, because we are gifted with a personal power to choose how our life feels to us and how we experience it. However, more often than not, we feel like victims of circumstance. We feel largely out of control of our life and our choices. We feel largely out of control of the things that happen to us. And we're just kind of floating along. And this is hugely triggering for anxiety, fear, and everything that's associated with fear. So I wanted to remind you or tell you that you have such a gift, a power, and that is to choose. We are constantly met with choices. Choices of what you are going to do next, your response. And I don't mean in the future, 5 years from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. I mean, what are you going to do next? Everything's a choice. Sometimes you feel obliged to do the next thing, but you're never obliged. You're actually making a choice. This is what I'm going to do. So knowing that, we need to know that we can make choices that align with who we actually are and what sits right with us and our life. And it's only when we're true to ourselves in that way that we're going to feel fulfilled and powerful and in control. So we have the power to respond and not react. So more often than not, life will throw a challenge at us or trigger us in some way. That's natural. That's not going to ever stop happening. However, we do get to choose our response. We get to choose how we act, what we do next, how we want to feel, what is the choice that we're going to make, rather than become completely at the mercy of our reactions. We cannot control other people. We cannot control circumstances. It is hugely misleading to think that by being anxious about something or feeling like we need to worry about something, we're having any impact on it whatsoever. We're not. We don't feel comfortable when we feel out of control. But the only thing we are in control of is ourselves and our choices. And that needs to become enough, and we need to become powerful enough to work with that to our advantage. So trying to control circumstances or other people on how they're going to, guessing how they're going to act or how they're going to respond, what they're going to think, is futile. It absolutely makes no real impact or sense to your day. But working on who you are, knowing who you are, and remembering that you have a choice. Every moment you're given a choice on what you want to do next. And sometimes what you want to do next when faced with a triggering challenge or a time of unease is to do nothing. And that's a choice. Perhaps you want to sit back for an hour, take a breather, do something else, reframe. Perhaps you want to take action. Then that's your choice. Perhaps you want to address it. Perhaps you want to have some time to really explore and feel some emotions. That's a choice. Everything is a choice. And I have a really helpful, I think it's helpful. I have a really helpful tool, a well-being tool that really helps us to own our choices and own our emotions and help us to live a life that we want to experience. And it's called setting emotional intentions. So I imagine that you are no stranger to having a to-do list, having things that need to be done that day, having an agenda, because let's face it, life gets very, very busy. And so, you may have 1 or 10 tasks ahead of you that day. And we can get completely used to and consumed by this. However, have you ever thought to decide on how you want to feel that day? That is actually one of the most important parts of our life experience. How am I going to feel today? So the things that we do are actually secondary to the way we want to feel. And that's where our perspective needs to be readdressed, because what is more important than your emotional experience of your day? And this isn't to say that the things that need to be done won't be done. In fact, they probably will be done, but they'll be done with an element of conscious choice as to how you feel. So the way we work this tool is you get up in the morning, and at whatever point in your morning routine is convenient for you, you just take a few minutes to ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? Perhaps you want to feel peaceful, calm. Perhaps you want to feel excited or inspired. Perhaps you want to feel connected, like you're really listening. Perhaps you've got other words. The words are not important, it's what it means to you. And just make that intention, set that intention. I intend to feel calm and open today. And just have a moment to think about what that means to you, and then you go about your day. It may be that you have a few elements of your day which require different kinds of approaches. So perhaps your morning you are wanting that calm clarity because you've got a lot of things to focus on. And perhaps in the afternoon or the evening, you're allowed to let loose a bit more, and it's more about being fun. So in which case, there's nothing stopping you from setting your emotional intentions again. So perhaps you've got a social event in the afternoon or evening, and you think, I want to feel free and excited. And you just make that choice. Think about what that means to you and set the intention. And what this does is gives you control over what you want and the choices that you're making. But it also gives you perspective, because as we all know, the best laid plans don't always come together. And sometimes they do beautifully, sometimes they don't. If our focus of the day is what we're doing and that thing doesn't work out, or timings are off, or it becomes, there's a curveball in your day, then you're thrown. And actually, you're a victim then, or you become a victim of circumstance. Whereas if you have thought about your emotional reaction or response to something, those curveballs can come, but you chose peace. So you'll react and respond to them with peace. Those curveballs can come, but you chose freedom. So you respond to them with freedom. And it really enables you to own your experience, because the things are no longer the most important thing. It's you and how you're choosing to experience your day and experience your life. So there is a rule with this though. You cannot control other people. So part of your emotional intention cannot be, I want my boss to value me today, because we can't control that. But what we can say is, I want to validate myself today. I want to feel confident in the work that I'm doing. And that's your choice. So we can't put the onus on other people, because we are giving away our power, essentially. We have got the power to experience our life in a beautiful and conscious way. And this is a technique that has helped me and has helped many of my clients. So I suggest you set yourself a reminder to do it, because habits don't happen overnight, and we always have we always need to practice these practices, because ultimately it's easy to forget. But give it a go and enjoy the experience of choosing and owning your experience and your emotion and your well-being.